Hi guys, this is Stork04 here, bringing you another Storks review. Today I'll be doing Batman Arkham Asylum. I know in my Spider-Man video I said that it pretty much beat Batman Arkham, but the more I play through this, the more I realize that Batman Arkham really is one of the most amazing games of all time. Over the times, they've made lots of games, like portable games, virtual reality games, and the main series games. The main one I'm talking about, of course, is Arkham Asylum. In the main series, they also had Arkham City, Arkham Origins, Arkham Knight. I know lots of people who've never played it wonder where to jump in. I would say Arkham Asylum. If you had to play only one game from the whole series, that would be my top pick. A couple of the main reasons I think that is because of the replayability. I've never replayed it once thinking, oh, I have to do all this stuff over again. If you want to just quickly see the story, it could be beaten in a day, especially if you put it on easy mode. But then, of course, like any other game, if you want to get all the collections and all the trophies, it would take hours and hours. As far as being kid friendly, I wouldn't say that it's too kid friendly. The cinematics can be quite intense and quite scary to little kids. I know if I do let my kid watch, it's normally only the action parts, and anytime a movie comes on, I quietly pause it or ask him to leave the room. But it is an amazing story. The DC lure is everywhere. If you know enough about DC, you can learn more about characters. Like instead of just having Joker, they actually have things like Scarface and Clayface and things you wouldn't see on the normal movies. And in the game, they have collectibles that you can collect to unlock bios. They have like little tapes, interview tapes, where people are talking to the villains, and it almost gives this personal connection to the villains when you're listening to it. You learn story and learn more about their personality. Each character has very strong personalities in the series. They also have things called Arkham Stones, which are another collectible, and they almost have like a side story. It talks about Arkham and who he was and the asylum, how it was together. So it's fun. Even if you beat the game, you can still learn more story about the DC universe. And as far as the way the game actually plays, you get experience for fighting. The more combos you get, the more multipliers you get for your experience. And inside the menus, you can go and upgrade items. They show maps, so if you're missing collectibles, you can see them on the map. And of course, like I said, you can collect the bios and whatnot, and they show all that on the map. So if you want to replay, you can go back to the old maps and collect everything you haven't gotten before. And I know a lot of my friends recently are saying they just don't have enough time to play games. One thing I absolutely love about this game is there are so many save points, there's auto saves, so even if you can only play for 10 minutes at a time, you can play and whatever's done is saved, and you don't have to worry about having to play for a whole hour just to get to the next save point. It's a wonderful way of being able to play however long you need. If you do have kids, if you need to quickly get to one of them, you can easily pause it. I've never had a moment where you couldn't pause just to quickly do whatever's needed. Another fun thing is even though it is a combo fighting style game, they do have what's called detective mode, where it's not the main point of the game, but it still makes you feel like you are a detective, just like Batman was, and you can go and look for evidence to try to find clues to solve the story. So it's not all just fighting all the time. They also have Riddler collectibles, so the Riddler might tell you to find this item. Of course, he doesn't tell you straight up, so you have to solve a puzzle while finding it, and you can zoom in and see amazing details. So one of the things he might say, a cat chases a mouse, or whatever. So you have to find Catwoman's items in the environment, and you can zoom in, and it really has so much detail on all the items in the environment, and it's not just the same old building window, building window. So there's many things to look at and enjoy in the environment. Another great thing, I've played some games where if they wanted to add a small story point, they would go through this whole 40-minute cinematic just to say, yeah, walk around the corner. But this game, if there's something small, they'll actually talk on the radio. So it's kind of like a cinematic, but you can actually still move Batman around while they're talking to you. So you get story points while walking exactly where you need to be. And as far as the art style, it's very realistic. It's great graphics. They also, when you go into the menus to look at the BIOS, they have the original comic book art, so they also have that aspect of art you can look at. And if you're a big fan of the DC comics, you'll know and recognize lots of those pictures. And as far as how rewarding the game is, they have lots of trophies. It feels really rewarding, some of those, because some of the trophies are really tough. It is more geared towards the non-casual players, but if you are a casual player, you could still have fun and get, I would say, about 45% of the trophies easily. The newer games were better at making it more accessible to the casual players, but I still like this one best of the series. And as far as multiplayer, there isn't really multiplayer per se. They do have leaderboards where if you have certain missions, you can go back and see who gets the highest score. Again, those aren't really geared towards casual players. I've never really had too much fun with that because I consider myself a casual player, and I just hate getting beat up over and over and over again. And as far as how big the game is, there are tons of downloaded content as far as skins or mini maps or even stories. Um, they're quite expensive at first, but now they have the collectors where you can get the Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. That's, I think, a little less than $30, and it comes with every single downloaded content. So the value is really tremendous now if you're getting into it. The only drawbacks I've had are, like I said, it's obviously not meant too much for casual players. This specific game, the newer ones have gotten better. I would like to see more difficulties between easy, normal, and hard. And again, the newer games I think do have very easy, easy, normal, hard, very hard. But this one just has easy, normal, and hard, and the differences are far in between each other. The other drawback, it's a real small nuisance I have, is how I was saying, when you go into the cinematic talk scenes, you can still move around. The only thing I think is annoying is that you can't run. You can still walk, but you can't run and jump, so you can kind of get to the puzzle, but you can't solve a puzzle that requires running or jumping or anything like that. But as far as the downsides and drawbacks, if that's all I have, I'd say it's pretty much one of the best games I've ever played. And that's it for my review. Thank you all again for watching, and if you guys enjoyed, please hit the like and subscribe button.